It is the rhythm of the city, 94.3 WYBC. I am Wanda Coppage here with you for the midday workforce. It's Tuesday. Not only is it Tuesday, but it's also tax season. So we have partnered with ACT. We'll tell you all about that. Invita program. We talk to them every single year, but this time we want to do something a little bit different. Break it down for you a little further when it comes to taxes. So we are here with Miss Takima Robinson for Talking Taxes with Takima on a Tuesday. That's a lot of T's.
It sure is.
But Takima is going to break this information down for our tax season this year because I know you have a lot of questions. So Takima, welcome back to the workforce.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, and I always love talking to you. I always love seeing you because you give great hat energy every single time. I always
Thank
compliment
you.
your hat.
Appreciate it.
Now, before we go into the taxes, ACT, formerly known as COS, tell us a little bit about the switch.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's Advancing Connecticut Together, also known as ACT.
Mhm.
We merged a while back with the Connecticut Association for Human Services, known as CAUS, to form Advancing Connecticut Together. And ACT is dedicated to addressing the root causes of poverty, health inequities, and addiction through strength-based programs and advocacy. Under that ACT umbrella, we have 4 pillars of service. AIDS Connecticut, that offers services, support services to those who have been impacted by HIV and AIDS. We have our asset building program that provides free financial literacy and asset building services.
Mm.
We also have our prevention department that provides services to folks who have been impacted by drug user health, right? And then we have our CT Pride, which is our online support services to the LGBT plus community.
Okay. As we're speaking about financial literacy, we always, and I love your program, your organization for this, we try to aid you, give you tips on how you can keep your hard-earned money from the workforce in your pocket,
Absolutely.
which is why we
Absolutely.
love the VITA program. It is a volunteer income tax assistance program with certified IRS preparers, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All of our volunteers are IRS trained and certified by the IRS to prepare your taxes for
And it,
free.
I'm about to say that, and it is free. You don't need to run to these different businesses and pay the fee. If you qualify, and we'll get into those qualifications, you can get this done for free with VITA. So, Takima, let's jump right in with our first question. Who should be filing their taxes?
Great question. So anyone 65 and under with an income of at least $14,600 should file, or $16,550 for taxpayers over 65.
Okay. Now, how does that relate to parents who have teenagers who work full time or part time? They may still be living in the house, but they meet that 14,000 that you just mentioned. How is that filed?
Another great question. So teens who live with a parent or guardian and have like a summer job, as you say, or work part-time, they themselves can still file a tax return
Individually by themselves.
indi- individually by themselves.
Okay.
However, their parents can file for them too. They are still their parents' dependents if they live at home, of course, right? But it's important for the teen to inform their tax preparer
Mhm.
that they can be claimed on their parents' return.
Okay.
So
Now,
as
what?
long as they say that they can be claimed on their parents' return, they will be filed as a dependent on someone else's return.
Okay. So it's a different structure that they would be filing under, but they can still file.
Absolutely.
Digging a little bit deeper into that, what if your child, because they will always be our babies, but what if they are a little bit older, maybe like 21, 22, 23, underemployed, unemployed? How does that work? Still living at
Oh,
home with parents.
still living at home. Okay. So a little tricky, but it there's a way. It still can be done depending on the income and the school status as well. So
Okay.
college students, for instance, right? College students can be claimed on their parents' return if they are
Okay.
under 24 and a full-time student. So it has to be both. Up to 19, living at home, they can file not in school, but
Okay.
up to under 24, they
Gotcha.
can be.
So it's a lot of different boxes that need to be checked in order. This is why the VITA program is excellent for you to set up an appointment and ask those questions and get it done for free. I'm going to back up a little bit. Thank you for all of that information. As we are starting to prepare, gather, get everything together to make this appointment, what documents do we need for the taxes?
Awesome question. So definitely a valid ID. We need your ID. We need to know you are who you say you are,
Mhm.
right? A copy of last year's tax return would be great.
Okay.
But if you went to a Vita site last year, we have that information, so
Oh,
it'll roll over. Okay, so just that would make your actual tax appointment a little faster as well too, because we already have your documents. We also need social security cards or ITIN numbers, which is the individual tax identification number for
mhm.
anyone that's going to be on that return. So the taxpayer and then any dependents that they're going to claim. And then we need all documentation of income. So if you worked your W-2 or a 1099,
Okay.
any if you had social security benefits, that 1099 SSA you would need. If you had unemployment, your 1099-G. Anything that has income on it or income related, bring it to that appointment. And then if you have education expenses, right?
Mm.
If you went to school, and you paid student loans, that interest could be deducted. So we want that form as well. But also, if you're in school and you took out loans and you're still paying for, you took out those loans, you can still use that form. It's a 1098-T. So we need that form as well. If you pay child care, because you get the child tax credit.
Nice.
So if you have that information, bring it. Of course, your bank information for direct deposit, because you get your refund a little faster if it's directly deposit. If you own a home, your mortgage interest statements, your tax state, your car taxes, things of that nature. If you had Access Health, there's a 1095A form that you get. So make sure you bring that. And some folks, unfortunately, have been victims of identity theft. So the
Mhm.
IRS would give them a PIN. So we would need that information as well, so that when we do file your tax returns, we put that PIN in, and the IRS knows that this is you, this is your return.
Love that. Great information. Great information. Again, this is Takima Robinson with ACT, formerly known as CAS. You brought up two great points that I want to elaborate on a little when it comes to the income, child support. If you're receiving child support, are you bringing that in, or is that to be filed on the taxes? And then part B of the question, a lot of talk around this new filing system where the non-custodial parent may possibly be able to file taxes if they pay child support. Talk to us a little bit about that from what you know.
Okay, so there's two types of income when it comes to filing taxes. It's non-taxable income and there's taxable income, right? So the taxable income is what we're looking at to file your taxes, okay? And so child support is not taxable income. Therefore, you do not need to claim it. If you receive child support, you do not need to claim it on your taxes. However, if you do pay child support, you cannot add that on your taxes as a deduction,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, but also now going a little further, although paying child support does not qualify the non-custodial parent to claim that child or children as their dependent, if the parents do not live together, but they still want to claim that child or children, the IRS would then treat that child as a qualifying dependent of the parent the child lives with.
The custodial parent.
The
Got
custodial parent, okay? So, but then there are times where maybe they switch off, right? And so they're like, okay, every other weekend, or that wouldn't count, but maybe half the year.
Okay.
And
It
so
sounds
then,
like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like this is something that the parents of this child may need to talk amongst themselves to work that out. It sounds like it'd be a lot smoother if you leave it
yes,
to the government. Don't let the government make the decision.
I like
It's
that. Yes,
complicated. It does.
it
So,
does. It does, but the custodial parent usually takes the precedent of filing for that child as a dependent.
mhm, got you. Last question for you. Elderly, if you have an elderly parent that is living with you, that you are the primary caretaker, how does that work with taxes?
So yeah, you can claim for your elderly parent if you provide over half of their support and their gross income does not exceed $5,050. But that doesn't include Social Security because sometimes Social Security income generally doesn't count towards income unless they have other income. And then it might count. So if they have pensions, retirement, and together that combined income is over 5,050,
Mhm.
then they may include that. But generally, if your elderly parents only get Social Security, you can claim.
Nice. See, this is why you need to make an appointment, sit down with persons such as Takima and their other very qualified volunteers to have these questions answered and make sure your taxes are being done correctly. And most importantly, is free to you. So, Takima, tell us what we need to do to make an appointment to get more information to arrange this with you. Where do we go?
To learn more about the VITA program or make an appointment at your nearest VITA site, please contact 211 to make that appointment, or you can reach out to us at act-ct.org.
Nice. And again, if you miss any of that, call me and I will give it to you over the phone or on Facebook. And next time because we're going to be talking to Takima again on tax tips next Tuesday. We are going to break down earned income credit because I know there's a lot of questions on that one. And if you have any questions that you would like Takima to answer, also call me, hit me up on Facebook, and we'll get those questions to Takima so she can answer them the next time. Any final words from you?
Go to a VITA site to get your taxes done for free. It is your money. You earn it, you keep it.
Facts, especially when the price of eggs are through the roof. Keep your money so you can buy
Yes,
these eggs. Stop playing.
absolutely.
And keep it locked. More great music coming, more R&B. It is the workforce with me, Wanda Coppage, right here on WYBC.